And yes, Christ the Lord is risen today. Happy Easter, good morning, and welcome to Unity Church of Practical Christianity's virtual version of our service. We're pleased that you're joining us today. Today we'll be offering a meditation time in addition to our Sunday message, which will come from Reverend Judith Crooks. Throughout the service, special music will be provided by Angelo Rapon, our musical director, and Julianne Tutko. At the end of the service, we'll share some other ways that we're staying connected with you, our Unity family, during this time. Our mission at Unity Church is to realize and express our oneness with God. Our vision statement is that we are a loving, spiritual community where we teach, share, and express unity in all life. Now together, we'll join in affirming our statement of being. Together. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Today's daily word is Easter. I recognize the risen Christ in my family, friends, and my spiritual community. Early in the evening on the day of resurrection, Jesus, unrecognized, joins two of his followers as they journey from Jerusalem toward the nearby village of Emmaus. Accepting an invitation to stay and share a meal, Jesus takes bread, blesses and breaks it, and then gives it to his hosts. In that moment, their eyes are opened. They recognize Jesus, and alive in their hearts, he vanishes from their sight. Later, the two explain to others how the risen Christ became a living presence to them in the fellowship of breaking bread. Easter celebrates the risen Christ, an immortal presence freed from all limitation, awaiting discovery in every person and life event. I recognize the risen Christ in shared experiences with family, friends, and my spiritual community. And from Luke chapter 24, verse 31, then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. As we begin our time of meditation, I invite you to get comfortable, to feel the support of your chair or the couch or the floor beneath you. And now I invite you to close your eyes, and then to take a deep breath in and out, and in and out. We acknowledge that these are challenging times for us all. But for this time of meditation, I ask that you give yourself permission to just put those worries aside for now, knowing that you can return to them at any time you so choose. And in this now moment, to begin breathing in peace, breathing out worries, breathing in health, breathing out dis-ease. Feeling with each breath that you are becoming more and more relaxed. And in this relaxed to experience what it is to be in darkness. In these times of darkness, we sometimes feel as though we're all alone. Perhaps we even feel forgotten or forsaken. But these feelings of separateness are an illusion. They are a product of our eyes being closed, our inability to see, our limited vision, our incomplete awareness. These feelings are an illusion, as we are never truly alone. And now imagine, if you will, a candle in this darkness. And as you focus on this candle, you can see, you can feel the flame growing brighter and stronger within. And as you continue to breathe in and out, and in and out, you recognize this flame as the light of God within you, your connection to Christ's Spirit. This Christ light within you is love and strength and hope. Not the simple hope of a child who crosses his fingers, closes his eyes, and wishes for things to be okay. But rather the hope of Spirit within is the hope that sees solutions over problems. It's the hope that discerns opportunities for growth in the midst of challenge. It's the hope that remains grateful for all we have in the midst of all we don't. And as we breathe in connection and hope, and we breathe out separation and doubt, let your focus be on that Christ light, that abiding connection with Spirit that is always present within you. And as you continue to breathe into this place where you and God are one, feel that warmth and light radiating through every molecule of your body. For now, we're approaching the end of our time of meditation. Continuing to breathe in and out. Take whatever time you need to return to that chair or couch or floor, bringing with you the sure knowledge that God lives within you, that God connects us to one another, and that regardless of the darkness we face, the light of love and strength and hope is always available. That indeed we can live in this light every moment of every day. And for that, we say thank you, God. Thank you, and amen.
beautiful, Julianne. I told you you'd bring me to tears in singing that song. It's one of my very favorites. And Angelo, oh, we are so fortunate and so grateful to have you here sharing music. And I also want to thank Anne for that beautiful meditation, for the work that you're doing in welcoming everybody. As I'm looking out at all of you who are see every single one of you in your seats right here with us, and the children on the floor as we were going to share a wonderful Easter story with them this morning. But I want you to know that Sailor Lynn, our youth director, is Zooming with all of the children, sharing a special session with them every Sunday so they're not alone. I'm just so grateful to be a part of this church and be able to be here with you on this Easter Sunday morning. But you know, many of you are alone today, unable to be with family this Easter. I'm so happy you chose to be with us today. I know our son Robert Klink and wife Michelle and daughter Nancy were going to be here with us. Bobby was even going to do a little bit of music for us this morning. But you know, we're all in our right place, and God is with us, guiding us and directing us. And I also think of the many men and women in the military, away from family, and with this coronavirus situation going on, can't be with a loved one who's in a nursing home or hospital. You know, it's a time when we really need to reach within to our faith and really allow that presence, that perfect faith of God to guide us on our way. And I'm going to do something very different in the service. I want to share with you the daily word from yesterday because it speaks to faith, the faith for each one of us as we're seeking to move through this Easter experience, the resurrection of the Christ, and into our own lives with all that we're going through. Faith is our word. My faith is my foundation. I may not know what the future will hold. There may be aspects of my life I'd like to improve, or I may feel overwhelmed and discouraged. No matter how my life may appear, I know that in all things and in all ways, God is. This inner knowing is faith. My faith gives me confidence in the allness of God despite worldly circumstances that might cause me despair. I think of Jesus' followers after the crucifixion, but before the third day had dawned, how bleak the world must have seemed to them. They could not know what the next day would bring, but their faith sustained them during Jesus' entombment. And today I look beyond anything that troubles me, and with faith I affirm wholeness, peace, prosperity, and love, all aspects of my birthright as a spiritual being. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7, we read, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." God is with you every step of the way as we go through all of these challenges that we're facing now. There's a new dawn breaking, and a wonderful, wonderful thing ahead for us there. And you know, I was thinking about all that we're going through. I know that Memphis Angel Billy Hopper Dean's faith has grown by leaps this last week. As we are all rejoicing, so very grateful for literally the miraculous healing of his wife from coronavirus. The doctors say it was a miracle. They don't understand it. And he's home today. Wonderful miracles. But we know that it's there for us. It's not about germs, viruses, or anything. It's about faith. It's about God moving in and through each one of us all the time. This experience has caused me to go through mountains of thoughts, looking at all of my life, sorting out what life is really all about, especially Donald and I at this age. Reading so many writings, messages, as I wanted to really see what might help us in this time. And I remembered a little game that my daddy used to play with my brother and I when we were little ones, 5, 6, 7 years old. We could read. He would prepare a scavenger hunt for us, little slips of paper with clues on them that will lead us to the next piece of paper and to the next one and to the next one until ultimately we found our Easter basket. I was about 7 when on that particular day I got a little slip of paper, and I can still picture my face just lighting up. It said he told me to go and seek a blind man from Venice. And I thought, oh, my daddy's Venetian blinds in his office. Silly little thing that occurred to me. But you know, Jesus gave us so many written clues, messages for each one of us personally in the Bible. Parables, miracles, statements of all kinds. He'd been trying to get across his message that life is eternal. Life goes on. Life persists. There is no death for any one of us. We each have a soul, a self, an individualized identity, that evolving self. And even when the physical body is gone, that beautiful soul goes on for each one of us. It was his greatest gift those many years ago, this whole Easter experience. In his whole purpose for the crucifixion and resurrection was to show the process to experience the resurrection of his soul, so that we would know that we go on. There is no death. There is no death. Let's take a look at the Easter message from the Bible. On the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early, while still in the dark, like you and I are sitting in the dark now, wondering what's going to happen in these next days and weeks. And she saw that the stone had been rolled away from the tomb. And she ran and came to Simon Peter, Faith, and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, and we know that one to be John, representing love. They've taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him. And Peter therefore went out, and the other disciple, and they were going to the tomb, and they both ran together. And Peter came to the tomb first, and stooping down, looked in and saw the linen cloths lying there, yet he didn't go in. And then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb, and he saw the linen cloths lying there, and the handkerchief that had been around his head was lying with the linen, but all folded neatly. And then the other disciple who came to the tomb first went in also, and saw and believed. But Mary stood outside the tomb weeping, and as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the tomb. And she saw there 2 angels in white, sitting one on the head and the other on the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. And they said to her, Woman, why are you weeping? And she said to them, Because they've taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him. And now, when she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus. And Jesus said to her, Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking? And she supposed him to be the gardener, and he said to her, and she said to him, Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away. And Jesus said to her, Mary. And she turned to him and said, Rabboni, which means teacher. And then Jesus said, Do not cling to me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God. Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord. A beautiful message. And he said to her, Do not touch me, for that was his beautiful soul that was there, resurrected. And she was to go to the disciples and tell him. You know, so many people are upset and are afraid, concerned, particularly with this pandemic that we're experiencing, are afraid of death, afraid of dying, afraid of what is happening in the world. I had an experience many years ago that I'd like to share with you in this personal time. We had a family who lived on the farm across the road from us. kitty corner. We had a 40-acre farm out in the country when the children were very little. And Bernice was my dear friend, and actually my mother's age. She had terminal cancer. But I would regularly take her around to the different neighborhood women's meetings and to church affairs. We had become very, very close friends. And then she was in the hospital. One afternoon, just returning from the hospital where Bernice had died, I was the first one that he thought of to come and share with me, to talk to. And he said that he was sitting there with her in a comatose state. But he said suddenly she sat straight up in bed. And he said she was just radiant. And she said, "Can you hear them? They're all here. And can you hear the angels singing?" Peacefully, she laid down again. God is with us. We are never alone. And what is my message for you today? God isn't just watching over you from a distance. God is within you. God is expressing through you. You are a spiritual being. That perfect blueprint of the Spirit within, that perfect pattern for your life is there. And God's will for each one of us is that we will express the highest and best for us to every other person that we know. This pandemic isn't about a virus, a hateful virus. It's about a negative consciousness of so many. We even see it right now here in our country as we're going through this time of our elections. With mass media, instant access between everyone, it's pretty crazy right now. I think we're seeing it. And the virus thrives on negativity. It's time for you and I to let go of it, to have faith in God, to the love that Jesus spoke of so many times, telling us to reach out and experience it. Jesus' message with the resurrection was just not about our soul living forever, but it's about you and I rising to a new level of expression right here and now. We need to quit just focusing on the stories of Jesus, about Jesus, and start walking in Jesus' footsteps. They're with him, reaching out to our neighbor, reaching out and speaking words of love, of kindness, positive, to give our country, our world, new hope, because that's what we're here for. In John, the 14th chapter, verses 12 through 14, Jesus said, "Most assuredly I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also, and greater works than these he will do, because I go to my Father. And whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that my Father may be glorified in the Son. And if you ask anything in my name, in the name and through the power of Jesus Christ, I will do it." What are you asking right now? What do you desire in your life to express, to have Jesus there with you? I invite you as we close, to close your eyes for a moment and look at that situation in your life. What is causing you the greatest challenge? See it clearly. See it as the tomb in which Jesus was placed. That huge boulder blocking the entrance. Perhaps that's how you're feeling right now. Cut off, unable to fully function, unable to feel God's presence, and fearful of whatever it is, you name it. Look more closely at your tomb. See the angels there effortlessly rolling away the stone? That fear which you have? Watch them. Let's go closer and look into the cave. There is Jesus, the risen Christ, right in the midst of your situation, beckoning you to look more closely, to see the light, the life, the truth of every situation in your life. That Christ is here, just as there, alive, and in this moment, guiding you to just exactly what you need. Just bask for a moment. in that presence, in the love and the gift, the Christ. Yes, the Christ as experienced at that time, but that Christ within you, the answers you're seeking, the direction you need, it's there right now. God gave us those 12 powerful powers within us that are there guiding us each step of the way. Love, imagination, power, judgment, understanding, zeal and enthusiasm, elimination, the ability to let go of things we don't want, faith, love, life, order, wisdom, and strength, all that we have need of. Open your mind and your power. Christ the Lord is risen today. God, we give thanks. And we give thanks in the name and through the power of Jesus Christ. We are grateful. Amen.
Reverend Crooks, thank you so much for that heartfelt message and really taking the Easter story, bringing it alive where we can apply it to our own lives today. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Pat.
Unprecedented times call for unprecedented action, and we are rising to the occasion. We're committed to serving you spiritually, emotionally, and mentally so that we can get through these challenging times. We're going to do that as one united family. With your continued support, we will press forward with faith through prayer, meditation, and internet activity remotely. Please join us each Sunday at 10:45 for the Facebook live stream of our weekly Sunday message. As an additional way to maintain our spiritual connection with our Unity family, we also invite you to engage in 10 or 15 or more minutes daily of conscious meditation with one another, which begins every day virtually at 11 a.m. This time corresponds to the daily Unity prayer service at Silent Unity. And we will continue to live stream our own Silent Unity prayer service with the Reverend Crooks each Wednesday at 11, using this as our collective meditation time on Wednesdays. Also, beginning this Tuesday at 7 p.m., both Reverend Crooks will begin a class via Zoom that is about teaching us to pray. More information about that class is available on the website and on our Facebook page. In these many ways, let's stay connected. Let us hear from you. You can request prayers through our prayer request portal on our website. And speaking of our website, please check out the We're All in This Together post on our events and activities page for resources to maintain connection and ideas for things you can do while maintaining appropriate social distancing. Donations can be mailed into the church office, and you can scroll down to the important announcement post on our Facebook page to find a link to donate, or donations can be made online via our website on the ways to support the church page. We love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you, and we know that even apart, we are all still one. The light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you.
The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you.
The power of God protects you.
The power of God protects you.
The presence of God watches over you.
The